We can't believe it's been 6 months since we got the keys to our country house, hidden deep in the heart of Dartmoor. Thank you, Prince William, for selling us this glorious old home, and we do hope you're enjoying your new abode as much as we're enjoying ours. The months have flown by since we received our box of keys, quite literally a box of them. We're still figuring out what each one opens, and may still be doing so another 6 months from now. For those new to the Dartmoor Diaries, welcome. It's wonderful to have you join us. Let's quickly recap what you've missed so far. We began with a few days of questioning our decision-making process, wondering if we'd lost our minds. We discovered more mould in the upstairs bedrooms than you'd find on a wedge of blue Stilton, uncovered rare textiles in our outdoor privy, and marvelled at the remarkable cleaning job the previous owner's team must have done before handing over the keys. We tackled serious radiation issues and even tamed a dragon in the cellar. Then came the ticking time bomb in the guest bedroom, rotten ring beams no longer holding up the roof. Watson had a showdown with one of the chimneys as water was seeping in. After much chaos and mortar, the render was removed, beautifully reinstated, and the chimney crowned with a smart new top hat. You've probably missed the day we received the original hand-drawn plans of our 1894 house, or when I Holmes gave one of our bathrooms a cheeky makeover while Watson was away. There was also the small matter of the bathroom floor collapsing into the room below, and Watson wrestling with how one heats a Victorian house through winter, only to realise just how much firewood that actually requires. Naturally, a tree was felled for that very reason. We removed the great green beast, our biomass hopper, from the boiler room, endured more dust and mould than anyone should, and even found mushrooms growing from the carpets. At least it saved a trip to the market. You may also have missed the emptying of the machine room, where mice and rats had moved in rent-free and our poor coach house, which was very happy until it wasn't. If all this has passed you by but you're here with us now, we welcome you with open arms and forgive you for your absence. Welcome to our mad, sometimes eccentric, slightly chaotic renovation adventure. Expect humour, storytelling, an escape from normality, and plenty of projects and transformations. And if you haven't already guessed, we're not just renovating a house, we're living out a narrative inspired by the very moor we call home, a place of folklore, mystery, and legend. We did what any sensible pair would do. We adopted the great literary duo themselves, Watson, the practical one, ever armed with tools, tea, and an alarming number of extension leads, and myself, Sherlock, a slightly more inquisitive detective, prone to narration, over-analysis, and an inconvenient love of Victorian flourishes. It matters not that Sherlock is, in our case, a woman, me, and that we've chosen to use a male voice. After all, I'm simply living out my inner detective in the voice of Sherlock Holmes himself. For this is about storytelling, imagination, and a shared love of uncovering mysteries both structural and historical. So if you love renovating, creating new spaces, discovering all things rotten, but also have a love for country houses, romantic winter nights by the fire, and a home perfect for any Christmas celebration, then this will be for you. We'd love you to follow along and subscribe to our YouTube channel and be part of our growing community as this story continues to unfold.